Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is season 2, episode 5 of the Unofficial Official Story. I'm Jennifer, and I narrowly escaped getting COVID. I was exposed. I think I'm good. I'm tested. But yeah, it's spreading, guys. Mask up and be careful.
Hey, and I'm Dwayne. I'm not getting COVID, I hope, because I have to travel soon, not recently. I'm all discombobulated. But I'm here, COVID-free and ready to go.
And I'm Koji, and I had COVID a couple months ago, and I'm good.
This is a podcast where we tell you the official story. We look at the paranormal, conspiracies, unexplained phenomena, cryptids, true crime, and by the end, we're going to tell you what really maybe happened. And in this episode, we're asking the question, is Prince Charles a vampire? But first, more importantly, we have to meet our guest, Kat C. What up? Hey, Kat.
Hey, guys. Thank you for having me.
Kat is an actress. She's also a model. She's a comedian and filmmaker. Kat fell in love with the performing arts at a young age while she studied dance, music, martial arts, and she's been involved in many shoots of all kinds. Kat is a strong supporter of various animal welfare and environmental groups. Being an animal lover, Kat loves to devote her time to animal shelters too. So, welcome to the show, Kat. How you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you guys doing?
Doing good, doing good. I love the summertime. I don't know about you.
What martial arts do you know?
Just very traditional, typical Chinese Kung Fu. I did a little bit of Taekwondo as well, but I didn't pass blue belt.
So the most important question is, can you beat up Dwayne?
Let's do it after the show.
Yeah, I like your chances. I really
like your
do.
chances.
I like your chances.
Wait, Dwayne, do you know any martial arts?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. So she's going to kick your butt.
Yeah, definitely. I just studied, I don't know, around the way fu, you know what I mean? But I actually I talk about it in my act. I haven't had a fight since junior high school. So
Okay, good.
yeah, I don't even.
Staying out of trouble.
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm pretty strong,
Yeah.
So
You work out a lot.
I work out a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if that translates. And I do Taibo, so.
Almost got in a fight for youth baseball, so I'm constantly fighting. And I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is amazing. I think it's the most useful martial art.
Well, maybe that's the one I'll take. My whole thing is that I watch a lot of videos on Instagram of people getting knocked out. They're really funny. It's always someone who's the aggressor, and then he gets knocked out. So it's just don't start a fight.
Well, no, so there is a way, like if somebody's putting their head towards you, it means they've never fought before. Because anybody who knows how to fight, whether boxing or anything, you want to keep your distance. Right. But by the way, so you want to do jiu-jitsu? I'm going to be opening a studio next month in Alhambra. I'm not going to be teaching, so you don't want to take a class from me, but
that's right.
We recorded there, but we should get back to Kat.
Wow. Yeah, back to Kat.
Like you say, after Kat beats me up,
my gosh.
we'll both go back and take some jiu-jitsu.
You know what? You can use a taser gun because I just went to this Hollywood stunts, kind of like for the Asian American, all the stunt team, and they gave me this taser gun. Like it's super cool. It's pink. You can borrow
nice.
that.
Oh, wow.
Do you have it with you?
I don't. Next time I bring it. By the way, congratulations, Koji, for that studio. I'm definitely going to come to take classes. Sounds really cool.
Wait, so I want to hear more about the stun gun. So is it a real gun or is it like a sex toy?
It looks kind of like sex toy. It's like it's pink. It's like taser. Look like taser, and then you put it on your kind of the middle finger, and you just kind of press a button, and they're gonna kind of taser. Like they told us, what you can do is kind of you have to touch the skin. If they wear a jacket, it won't work. So it's very useful for man and woman out there.
Oh, wow.
Right. So especially in the summertime.
Yeah, in the summertime.
More useful in the summertime.
Beach, yeah, right. Yeah. Probably not useful at a ski resort.
Right.
Space is probably not a useful place.
If you get attacked by the ski mask killer, it won't help you. But,
or if you're on like the International Space Station,
right.
Outside the space station, it's probably not helpful too. How did you get into comedy?
So I started like improv like at a Nerdist. Do you guys remember the school?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
behind the comic book store.
Yes, it was a comic. Yeah, on Sunset. It was called a Meltdown Comic Book Store, and then Chris Hardwick started the school a couple years ago. So I was taking the class over there for a while. while, and I was taking like an acting class, and then I just realized if you can do comedy, you can do pretty much everything, right? Like drama. So I kind of got into comedy by taking the improv class, and then there are lots of stand-up comedian in our class as well. So I was like, okay, maybe I should write these comedies. I was writing lots of jokes. And then one time I was in the Uber and I would start telling jokes to an Uber driver. This Uber driver said, oh, you're actually really funny. I said, yeah, you should do stand-up. I'm like, okay. So then I finally decided to stand up a couple of years ago. So I'm still kind of like a baby. People said, you need to start doing this for 10 years. I'm like, is there a shortcut?
Well, I would say there is a shortcut, and just more you write and listen to your sets, just keep listening and writing, listening and writing, listening and writing. And that's how you surpass people. Because some people just do it and they don't listen. Mm-hmm. You have to listen to every single set that you do. But it's really great that Uber driver said that to you. You know, like you're the first person in history, like the Uber driver told you what you should do. Because Uber drivers are always telling you what they do, right? They're like, well, I'm driving Uber, but I really do this, I really do that. So he must have really been impressed to big up you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you should listen to Dwayne because, I mean, he's been doing comedy for about 80 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely.
80 years? 80? 0?
I'm kidding.
Yeah. I'm the one who told Charlie Chaplin that he should try speaking. Yeah.
Wow. Guess black don't crack. I don't know how old that is.
Is that a thing?
There we go.
Black don't crack?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
is?
Yeah. You gotta,
sure.
I mean, it's weird though, because I do feel like we die young, but I think we still have good skin. You know what I mean? It's hard to, but black don't crack, but it's I think everyone doesn't crack. It's just a matter of moisturizing.
So this is so my theory with Asians is that we look young, 10 years younger than our age. Mm-hmm. Until you hit one age, and then you jump like 70 years, and like you could be like 90 but look like you're 200 for the rest of your life. So like you're either like 10 years younger or like 80 years over your age. You're like, wait, she's only like 90, but she looks like she's 170. You know, it's right. Like those are the options.
And what age is that, or is it doesn't change?
It depends on the person. I think it depends on the person. Yeah.
But honestly, I'd rather die as the old Asian people because I like to go to the park in Alhambra to watch all the old people, like the old Asian people. They hang out, doing the dance, doing stuff like white old people just die in the nursing home miserably.
Right.
So I think that.
Oh my God,
it's like
true,
right? Asian people still like gathering around at a party, like old people party in the park.
Right. They are. They're like doing Tai Chi and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
one of my friends, when I was at the Arcadia Mall, when my son was a toddler, this Chinese grandma was like, had her grandchild was having issues with my son, and I got into it with the grandma.
There's a trend here. Go ahead.
We started like going back and forth,
Right.
And then all of a sudden, like, what this Chinese American woman about my age was like, she's gonna beat you up. I was like, this old woman's gonna beat me up, like. And then it was like the whole thing, but we didn't fight. So I'm just gonna say, we didn't throw down. But I remember thinking like, that's great. She's gonna like fight like a much younger person.
Yeah, she has nothing to lose.
It's like Jay-Z, right? When Jay-Z says like, "I shoot you."
Oh yeah, that's a great line. If I shoot you, if you shoot me, you're famous. If I shoot you, I'm brainless.
Yeah.
The
same thing.
Yeah.
I'm not
Maybe he said, if I shoot you, I'm brainless. If you shoot me, I'm famous. Meaning I have nothing to gain from fighting you, but you have a lot to gain from fighting me. So
because it will go viral.
So since you're quite a multidisciplinary artist, would you say what's the thing that makes your heart sing the most? Is it the stand-up? Is that what's really, being on the stage, doing comedy, making people laugh? Would you say that's kind of where your heart's at?
I think my heart is where I spend time with my dogs. I'm just joking. I can't wait like one day, like I can bring my dogs on stage.
Oh, nice.
How many dogs do you
I've
have?
seen that.
I have 2 dogs,
Okay. What are their names?
Coco and Poochie.
Oh,
Poochie.
nice.
I had a dog named Papucci.
Ooh.
Papucci.
Nice.
Papucci.
That's Poochie's father. Yeah.
That's Poochie's master.
Oh, yeah. I've never seen a dog on stage at like at a stand-up.
I think what's that comedian's name? Eliza.
Oh yeah, she does bring Eliza Schlesinger. She brings her dog on stage.
Really?
She brought her dog on stage one time.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
pretty cool.
I would just stare at the dog though. They'd steal the show. Dogs are cute.
Dogs and children, they still sing.
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And have you traveled with your dogs?
No, I haven't because I have flight anxiety. I don't even want to fly. That's why I don't think I can tour as a comedian. I just want stay local.
It's scary to fly sometimes. You just gotta have a
tour
drink
bus.
before you get on a plane or something.
A tour bus.
You could
Yeah,
walk.
there you go.
Yeah,
you know?
I can't wait one day they invent like a transporter. You just press a button and get there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I would like that too.
Yeah. I mean, either it has to sort of like Star Trek, like break down your molecules and reassemble them somewhere else. Or it'll probably still be flying. You shoot out into space and then you come down and land in a different part.
Or you could come back and look like me. See, that would be terrible.
Well, I guess we should get into it, yeah?
Yes, let's get into it.
Here are the facts. Prince Charles, next in line, of course, to become the King of England, recently came out with a statement emphasizing his relationship to Vlad the Impaler, a cruel, bloodthirsty leader of Transylvania that inspired the Dracula vampire monster that we see in films and books today, of course. Prince Charles recently stated, and I quote, "Transylvania is in my blood." Oh, I want Dwayne to do this with an accent. Can you do an English accent for me and do that?
No, I'm horrible at English accent.
You're great at accents. Kat, can you do English accents? I just want to hear it.
Actually, maybe I can because Queen Elizabeth and I share the same birthday, 420.
You're a 420 baby?
I'm a 420 babe,
Wow.
yeah, but I
Oh
don't
my
smoke
God.
pot at this point.
You also share his birthday with Hitler.
I know. All my Jewish friends like to say this to me.
Yeah.
How do you know that? That's crazy.
Because 420 is like a...
Right.
And
It's the weed. Yeah.
Oh my God.
are you going to do the accent?
I just want someone to do
I can
it.
try.
Try it,
but
try it.
I
Let's do it.
feel like Jennifer will do it just as.
I was trying to, and then I
So-
got scared.
Not like a not like a vampire, like
No.
an English person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because I wanted to do Transylvania. I was in my
Do a Dracula. Yeah, do a Dracula.
Okay, that's easy. That's a little easier for me. Transylvania is in my blood. The genealogy shows that I am descended from Vlad, the Impaler, you see.
Why are you so good at that?
That is bloody good.
Oh my gosh. So that statement has created a lot of buzz because Vlad the Impaler is also said to have been a vampire ruler. So Prince Charles is likely a descendant of a vampire.
How is that not a bigger thing that he was related to Vlad the Impaler? Why is it the first time I'm noticing this is when I read the script?
You know what I think? And I think it's good. And I'm going to read my part. I think these people who have sort of like seized power and have kept it in their families for generations, they like to hide the fact that they've done that. You know, the fact that like the English monarchy, they're really German, you know what I mean? Or they have, and all these monarchs that always, they interbred, they bred with each other. They like to keep that on the low, you know? So I think that's why.
That's why.
But now the secret's out because anyone with a keyboard can make sure we all know. So anyway, with that is banana sandwich though. They're so. Let me put my reading glasses on because I wear reading.
That's what happens when you do comedy for 80 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Who's the vampire in here now?
I told Charlie Chaplin he should speak, and he told me to get reading glasses. So there are many specifics that make it seem like Prince Charles is a vampire. Prince Charles lives in a castle. He's reclusive, rarely comes out during the day, is a member of the English royalty, and is involved in a substantial amount of ancient ceremonies and rituals for England. The ancient rituals being things vampires would like, since many vampires are centuries of years old and perform rituals. Additionally, if you look at his pictures, like the ones provided in the show notes, he has like a vampire smile.
Does he really? What do you guys think? Look at that picture.
Oh yeah, that looks like a person who had to learn how to smile. Like that's like that's how you smile when you're in third grade, right? Because you don't, but then you don't smile like that anymore.
Kat, what do you think? Vampire smile or no vampire smile?
Yeah, I think I think his nose has a little bit that thing. The only thing I would point out that's not very vampire is the teeth. They should be more white. But he's British, by the way, so we cannot criticize that.
That's super white for British.
For British, it's white.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like pearly white.
That's a perfect taste for British.
What about you, Jennifer? What do you think that he has a vampire smile?
I guess there's something, I could see him doing the Dracula voice with that kind of face. Yeah.
Look at this picture, right? Doesn't it feel like inside his inner monologue is like, does this look like a smile? Does it look like a smile? Harley Busford from bunnow.com writes, some may even compare his features to those of a vampire, as we just discussed, with his defined face and ears. He appears more creature-like. Okay, don't do him like that. His eyes are set close together. staring sternly into your soul. His nose, which is a prominent feature on his face, points directly at you. Like, where else is his nose going to point? His smile slants ever so slightly into a grimace. Overall, here's the appearance of a blood-sucking creature.
I don't know about you, Dwayne. I get all my news from bunnow.com.
Right.
So reputable.
I know. It's like CNN,
Right.
Bunnow, Newsmax, right? All right. Finally, Prince Charles also owns multiple properties and is very involved in Transylvania, the home of Dracula, his vampire ancestor. Prince Charles does a visibly large amount of charity work for Transylvania. He is furthermore honorary. Sorry. God, English isn't
Come on, Professor.
He is furthermore honorarily referred to as the Prince of Transylvania by the local elected officials, which is strange since Prince Charles is the leader of England, a rival European country.
Rival? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's a rival.
Right.
Yeah.
So as you can see, there are a lot of facts out there that support the Prince Charles vampire hypothesis. So now it's time that we discuss our theories.
Dwayne, why don't you get us started?
Okay, I'll take off my glasses for effect. They're not real glasses anyway. Here's what I think. I think he is certainly a emotional vampire. That's a thing.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, like so. And that's what he did to Prince Diana, right? He just sort of Princess Diana, excuse me. Mm-hmm. He kind of sapped her energy. And I think his wife is Camilla, right? I think she's also an emotional vampire. So like it skips a generation. So he didn't get the real vampire gene. He just got the emotional gene.
Can you define an emotional vampire just so everyone's
Oh yeah, it's sort of like I don't know if it's the same as the succubus or incubus, but it's kind of like a person who just saps the life and energy of anyone who's around them. They just go around stealing joy. Like even standing next to you, they can steal you. You know how like, you ever talk to someone and they tell a long drawn out story and you just like don't know where it's going?
Yeah, like right now.
Yeah, right. That person is a vampire, an emotional vampire. Or someone was like, how's your day going? Oh man. And it's just all these bad things going on. They just do that to everyone they come in contact with. So basically, it's like with comedy, right? Like some comics leave the audience in a better shape than when they got them. These kind of people, they leave everyone in a worse shape, like after everyone's down after they hang with them. But I think he's an emotional vampire, but he has that lineage, right? To Vlad the Impaler. And I think he hangs out in Transylvania so much because it's like, the one person his powers don't work on is his mom, okay? And so she might outlive him. He might never be king. So just in case, he's going to just slide off. He's got a date written down. He's like, by the time I get to blank age, if she's, he loves his mom, but if she hasn't given me the, kinghood or whatever you want to call it, he's going to become the king of Transylvania. Oh. Since they love him already, he has a house there. He's already the prince. So he can just go there, be an emotional vampire, kick it with some real vampires, and that's his plan.
Oh, so vampires are real, but he's just
yeah. He's vampires are real, and they hang out with emotional vampires sometimes, and they can coexist because they can't turn it. You can't turn it. This is all based on that TV show, What We Do in the Shadows. So that's why I'm getting my vampire knowledge from.
Oh, that's good. Good
And
research.
so a vampire who sucks blood can't turn an emotional vampire into a vampire. Like they're just
like different species.
Yeah, but they hang out and they kick it. So
got it.
He's an emotional vampire who's, if his mom doesn't do something soon,
So is Queen Elizabeth a vampire then?
Yeah, probably so.
Okay. That's probably why she's living a long time.
Right. But she might be an actual vampire.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's my theory. I'm sticking to it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Jennifer, what's your theory?
My theory is that Prince Charles is not a vampire because, in my opinion, vampires are sexy. And I have never known a vampire in literature or movies. And even, remember I talked about last week how I had a friend that claimed he was a vampire?
Is he good looking?
He's not, but he has a...
Follow-up question.
energy.
Does he listen to this podcast?
Oh my God, I got to backtrack my steps. I hope he doesn't listen to this yet because that'd be mean because he's such a nice guy, but he's got a good energy. He's got a real good charm, charisma. So I think, because you don't have to be good looking to be sexy. I've known people that look like not even, they just look like animals, and they were still
That's what I
very
tell
sexy.
myself all the time, Jennifer.
Really? Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Just kidding.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah. Like, you know, it's like that song, you know, big dick energy. It's like, you know, it's just like it's
There's
an
a song
energy
called,
thing.
wait. Sorry. I haven't listened to hip hop since like Pac died. So
Right? That song.
tell me about this song. What is this?
Yeah. Well, back up. The term, I think it was it Ariana Grande or Selena Gomez? Someone who dated Pete
Davidson.
Pete Davidson from SNL, after they broke up, said, you know, because I guess someone was saying he's not a looker, and this girl said he has big dick energy, and that's kind of became a
He
thing.
100% does.
What does that mean?
It means
It's confidence, I guess.
Yeah, it's confidence. You don't have to, I'll tell you from personal experience, you don't actually have to have a big dick, and you can act like it. And meaning, like, you're not saying that is the definition of manhood in any way, but it just has to do with like charisma, personality, confidence, swagger, even. So that's what I mean by sexy. Because I've definitely dated, I'm sure you've been through it too, Kat, where you've dated someone that's not very empirically good looking, but sexy as hell. So that's what I mean is Prince Charles is not sexy to me.
And he doesn't have BDE. That's what we're saying.
He doesn't. Okay. So part of the extension of that theory is that he wants to be. He wants to be. So that's why he'd be hanging out in like Transylvania and stuff like that, because he's trying to infiltrate. He wants to learn. He wants to learn with the vampires, and he wants to become a sexy
so
one.
interesting. You know why that's interesting to me? Because the guy who wrote that book, Pickup Artists, or how, you know that whole book of how to get girls.
Oh, that dude. He had like a reality show or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you neg them and this, that, and the third. That guy looked like a vampire because he tried to like look all cool. You know what I mean? So I think along those same lines, vampires know how to get women, and Prince Charles is just trying to like have some of that rub off on him. It's like when you're 5'6" and you hang out with a bunch of basketball players. You know, like you're still 5'6". You know what I mean?
Yeah, but hey, if you're 5'6" hanging out with basketball players and you act like a Pete Davidson kind of thing, then you're going to be okay.
Right. I like that theory a lot.
Yeah. That's why, men, if you're listening, if you're short, I'm telling you, don't let it bother you.
Can I ask a question? Okay. Out of all the men in this room,
we're so digressing right now.
Who has the best BDE?
I don't know. Maybe Eduardo. Yeah.
Yes.
That was the wrong answer. Okay. Let's start over.
Is it you? I don't know.
All the Asian men in this room. Okay.
Koji, you.
Yes. Oh, God. Like, what?
Yeah. Speaking of this, I just wrote a joke for our Asian brothers about the BDE thing. I haven't performed that joke yet, but I just want to give credit to lots of Asian guys there. Lots of Asian guys do have enormous dick.
Woo!
Yeah. Like I did this joke for my ex-boyfriend. I was like, hey, who said Asian guy don't have big dick? My ex-boyfriend has enormous dick, but he just don't use it on me.
Right.
He used it on the video games.
And let's remember now, Prince Charles, right? Diane was cheating on him. So see?
Right, but he was cheating on her.
He was cheating on her too.
Yeah, he did that first.
From the very beginning. Yeah,
Yeah, he was in love with
was
Camilla,
always in the picture. And I guess he couldn't marry her back then for some reason.
Yeah, I think he was in love with her the whole time. Yeah. That's why it made Diana like hurt herself, right?
Yeah, I think it's like emotional cheating is worse. Because I think Diana knows Prince Charles was deeply in love with Camille. So, like, she understands, even like they were married, I think Diana think, Prince Charles would never, ever kind of really falling in love with her because his heart was with Camilla.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, my theory, if you guys want to hear my theory,
Yes, we do.
Yeah, thank you.
King BDE here.
Yeah. Of all the Asian men in this room.
Right.
Yes. Okay. So my theory is this. So Princess Diana didn't like him. She always thought he was kind of a loser. If he wasn't a prince, she wouldn't have been going out with him. And so he always wanted to feel better and bigger. So he started spreading this lie that he was a vampire. And he started telling all the press that was hanging out. And he'd say, hey, I'm a vampire. And he said, I'm related to Vlad the Impaler. But like Dwayne was saying earlier, all the royal people are all related to each other.
Right.
So he knew that he was related. It just took some nerdy guy to figure out the actual relationship. So this all started because he was insecure about how Diana disrespected him from the very beginning.
I see. So why does it keep going on with?
Well, he said it once, and then on the internet, people just keep talking about it.
I see.
So we're just doing the propaganda of Charles. It's propaganda from like 20 years ago.
I see.
Yeah, it kept going.
So, and then I wonder what does Camilla think of it? She's indifferent.
Well, they have vampire role playing sex. he pretends to bite her, and he's like, I'm a vegan vampire,
Vegan vampire.
There's nothing funny about Cape. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Wait, Cape?
capes.
Oh.
All right, Kat, what is your theory?
I kind of agree what Jennifer said about the guys. Sometimes you don't have to be good looking to be sexy, right? Actually, most of the time. And then I feel like for Prince Charles, he, obviously he's not good looking. And
Stop.
I mean, it's in the eye of the beholder, but not too many people have.
I would fuck him all over.
Not too many beholders out there.
would.
Really? For what? What's the most sex feature about him? You want to fuck him?
His beautiful white teeth.
I think that tie looks great.
No, it's the fact that he's a prince.
Yeah, he's a prince.
Yeah. He doesn't have to prove anything else, right?
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. And then Duan mentioned about like emotional vampire. Maybe, he does have that energy of him to suck out all the good energy. Like, honestly, I never felt he's charming as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so, some leader, when they make speech, like, Obama, they stand on stage, you will know they have that charm, right? Like when he's speaking, I just want to fall asleep. Maybe that's a vampire.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that sounds like a vampire.
Yeah, it's like I put you asleep.
Yeah, I think he has it. Yeah. So you're going with emotional vampire as well, or
He's both an
vampire
emotional
vampire.
and a regular vampire.
Yeah.
He's both a vampire.
Oh, it's hard to debate this one. I think I'm going to go with regular vampire.
He's a regular vampire.
Yeah.
Regular
Okay, he
vampire.
sucks blood.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Ew.
the one thing about him being a regular vampire, which I think is good, is that the rules of vampirism, like, you're into zombies, right, Koji? Every book has different zombie rules. And so they don't go out in the daytime, or they can't see themselves in a mirror. That's all from like one book. That may not be, that may have been added to, like, that's not how vampires really roll,
Well, I saw this documentary called Twilight. And in Twilight, he's able to go outside, right? Edward, right? So, I mean, have you guys seen that documentary?
I haven't actually. But,
I love that documentary. I watched it 10 times.
It's so enlightening, Apparently girls just want to
really
become
funny.
vampires, right? That's all they want to be.
Oh, right. We're at the point in the show where we need to pick the unofficial official story, one that will once and for all answer this question. What do you guys think? Which theory do we want to go with? Is Prince Charles a vampire? And if so, what kind?
this is one of the hardest ones we've ever had, because
Yeah.
everyone's thing is good. And I like the fact, if he's a real vampire, then that would explain why he loves Camilla so much, if I'm saying her name right, because it's always the one he doesn't bite. That's the true love, right? It's like, if I loved you, I would have bit you a long time ago. You know what I mean? So, maybe he bit Diana, and she was like, oh, damn it, you made me a vampire, and you love that bitch because you didn't bite her, that kind of thing. So, I like him faking it. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Personally, I like the big dick thing.
Yeah.
I don't like big dick. That came off totally wrong.
You mean like
He
He hangs out with vampires.
hangs out with vampires.
he hangs out with vampires?
But he's not really a vampire.
But he's not really, because he was a wishful. He wants to learn the ways.
Yeah, I kind of like
I
that.
kind of like that too. But also, it incorporates cats in the fact that he knows he's not charming. And
Right.
so either that's because he's a vampire, or he just doesn't have charm. So I'll hang out with vampires just to give myself a little boost. It's like, I read this book once. In the book, this guy had to entertain these nerds. And so he told these nerds that he got his tie from like Leonard Nimoy, Dr. Spock. And so he didn't have charm, but the nerds were like, oh my God, you met Dr. Spock, and da-da-da, you know what I mean? So I think Charles is just doing anything to like
Get some cred.
to be interesting. You know what I mean? And get some credit. So both of them touch upon that, but I I like him faking the whole thing and just hanging out with vampires.
What do you think, Kat?
I kind of agree with Duane on this. I think he's faking it and he hang out with real vampire to increase his charm. And then, like we said, he's not charming, but he gets girls just because he's
a
friends.
prince. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. So I guess that's Jennifer's theory. When he enrolled in that school, I forget what college he went to. I think he went to college in Scotland, all right? And when he enrolled, like the female enrollment went up like 600% or something
really?
crazy. Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean,
And then, so one of them got lucky and was the one who married him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that's
Can you
the secret.
imagine that? That's crazy.
That's the secret.
We figured it out. That is the official story. Mine's the official
Yes.
story. All right, so we're going to take a break and we're going to come back and we'll do a round robin on different royal conspiracy theories.
Yay.
Ooh. Let's go through some other royal conspiracy theories. First up is the Meghan Markle conspiracy theory. Reader's Digest reports that the theory making the rounds is that the marriage of Meghan Markle to Prince Harry is a political gambit that will allow the United Kingdom to reabsorb the United States. Because Prince Harry's kids will be Americans and Brits, one could grow up to be president and king. So they want America back. And this is how they're going to do it, according to a viral tweet reported on by Time.
That's crazy.
That's banana sandwich. What I like about it is that the last queen of America was Queen Charlotte, right? Who was mixed. So the last queen of America
What are you
was
talking about?
when America, when we had the rebellion and we parted ways with England.
Yeah.
At that time,
Oh,
the queen was Queen Charlotte.
Got it. Okay.
And America technically was a part of the British Empire. So Queen Charlotte was mixed.
Mixed with what?
She was part black.
She was.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's a fact. So it would kind of be this nice full circle thing for
Wow.
them to then, have another president who rise to the ranks, who's mixed, but also British, and then, pull us back in. But the only thing is their kids won't be in line for the throne because William's kids are in line for the throne.
Unless they get eaten by vampires.
Right. But maybe that doesn't matter, right? Maybe I think it's an interesting thing. It only works if the kids are really smart and they don't have British accents, because Americans aren't going to vote for a president who sounds British.
Although British accents make you sound smarter and more sophisticated, so
but
people will like it.
But being smart is a problem in a lot. Like,
That's true. You want to have beer with them.
in this country, he's like, that's a guy I'd drink a beer with.
The
Yeah.
thing that's going to piss me off is when they put you in words that don't have you in it. Like when they put in extra letters.
Oh, like color?
Yeah.
Oh, like harbor?
Favor?
Or,
Yeah, that's offensive. I can't vote for somebody like would put a you.
They say aluminium. That's how they say aluminum.
That's unacceptable. It's un-American.
Yeah,
as far as
advertisement.
Oh my God.
But I like this theory. I mean, I wouldn't mind it.
one of the things I always say about the revolution, or when we revolted against the other country, was that
I called it the rebellion. I can't believe I called it that.
Rebellion.
is that we might have been better if we didn't leave England. Because, like, for example, in 1840, the English outlawed slavery.
Right.
And it wasn't until 25 years later that we outlawed slavery. And if we were part of England, the South wouldn't have been as powerful because they have like the English Empire.
Right,
So we don't have
right.
to. We don't have to bow down to the South like we did.
And I could probably go to a bar and get a cup of tea without people looking at me sideways.
Wait. You get tea at a bar?
Sometimes, but in England, you can do it.
Wait,
It's
is
no
that BDE energy? that does not feel like
That seems like, I guess it would qualify as showing you're confident you don't give a fuck. So then, yeah.
It could be. Sometimes I'll get a hot chocolate in a bar.
Whoa. That's my style too. I do get that hot chocolate.
Yes.
So I bring I like physical books. I read physical books
At the bar?
Well, just anywhere. I bring books with me. And I was waiting for a meeting, so I was reading a book, and all these like girls were talking to me about it because I was reading, and like I was not interested in talking to them. And then I was telling my friend who's single, I was like, "Hey, all you have to do is read a book, and all these girls will talk to you." And then he tried it. He's like, "Nobody talked to me." I was like, "Were you actually reading, or were you trying to get a girl?" And he's like, "I was like trying to get a girl." I was like, "See, I was actually reading. I didn't want to talk to the girl.
Right.
And the more they wanted to talk to me, the less I wanted to talk because I wanted to go back to my reading."
Right. That's why girls love DJs.
Yeah.
It's like this whole nightclub, everyone's dancing. All these guys are trying to buy drinks for girls. And there's one guy not paying attention to him because he's just,
God, that makes sense.
and then they all want that guy Because if you can get his attention, that means it's more valuable because there's scarcity of it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I love that.
Yeah.
DJs are automatically like a little bit hotter.
Yeah.
No
Female
matter
DJs
what.
are hot too, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, female DJ is definitely hot.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What do you guys think about this theory?
Yeah. I mean, I love any, conspiracy theory. I like to humor it a little bit, but I think that the idea of it seems kind of cool. I don't know if it's like a conspiracy, but I could see it I could see it happening and making sense and then it turning everything on its head, the whole America, Brit, dual citizenship, president, king thing. But I don't know if it's actually like intentional.
Yeah. Well, it can't be worse than Trump. So
Right.
Yeah, huh? Right.
And they have moved here, right?
they're here. They're in Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Kat? What do you think?
This sounds very interesting, especially this tweet reported by Time. Sounds very reputable.
Well, it's no Bun Lao, right? Or Bun Now, right? Sorry.
Yeah.
I had to look at the script. I had to go back to the schedule.
The heck?
Next up was Queen Elizabeth I, or one, a man.
God.
So the theory goes, according to Lauren Kahn and Marissa Laliberte at Reader's Digest, that in the 16th century, King Henry VIII sent his young daughter, Elizabeth Tudor, to a small village to avoid the plague. Supposedly, she died there, and her governess was terrified to tell the king, known for his killing of his wives, that they'd failed to keep his daughter safe. Instead of fessing up, they tried to find a girl her age to take her place, but the village didn't have anyone suitable. Instead, they asked a farm boy named Neville to be the decoy. The plan worked. Child swap explains why the Virgin Queen never married, according to conspiracy theorists, because she
was a dude.
She had a dude.
She had a big penis energy.
She had a schlong, yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Oh my gosh. I mean, no, I don't think that's so legit. Queen Elizabeth, I mean, then how did the kids, like, I'm just trying to figure out, that means if she's a man, then her kids, like, there has to be multiple.
Well, she didn't have kids.
She didn't have kids. Yeah.
She's a virgin queen.
Yeah, she didn't marry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's saying it's,
She had a penis, not a vagina.
and she had she wore a lot of powdered makeup and wigs.
Yeah. And she had a penis, not a vagina.
I don't know. I mean, she was a strong. No,
And
I'm not even going to go there.
And she once dunked on her brother. I don't know if that matches.
She stuck it in a little bit. She said, it's my finger.
No. I mean, I've seen many a movie about her, but.
Here's the thing with this one is that if the father loved his daughter so much that he sent her away so she wouldn't die, and then they swapped it with some other kid and you can't tell that it's not your daughter, you know what I mean?
Well, there wasn't Instagram back then, too.
I know, I thought about that. So
Or
like
TikTok. There's no TikTok.
there's no
either.
pictures at all.
Yeah, there's no
right?
pictures.
So
Well, there's paintings.
there's paintings.
Yeah. Somebody could have painted what she looked like before,
Yeah.
but now it looks like the new one.
This would be hella dope. It's just the thing is that the problem is that she ruled, she was smart. And there was if you read the research, like people are like this, she's too smart. She can't be a woman, So I think a little bit of it's like shade that a woman couldn't be this smart. So therefore she had to be a man.
Yeah.
But she spoke 6 languages. To me, that's a woman thing. Because I think women pick up language better than men on average.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think so. I think it's easier. Like if a husband and a wife move somewhere when they're like in their 40s, unless the husband will only pick up the language faster if it's for work. If it's just sort of just hanging out, the woman will pick up the language
Women
faster.
give birth better than men.
Women give birth better than men. Yes. So I like this story. It would be kind of dope, just kind of that they pulled a fast one, but I just can't believe it. I can't believe that the father could be tricked like that.
Men pee standing up better.
Right.
Sorry. Sorry. For shaking your head over there.
I do think women are better at language. We can look it up, but I think that studies have shown that.
Kat, what do you think about that theory?
I just don't think this makes sense for me at all. How could they not tell, like the back then they don't have plastic surgery, like, how can
they not tell?
How can you not tell? Like these days you can easily, Kate Jenner can easily get it down, but back then, like all the faded appearance, you couldn't hide it. Oh, maybe they wear lots of clothes.
They wore a lot of clothes, yeah. I mean,
just
just put it this way. People thought Elton John was straight or Liberace was straight. So people were able to convince themselves of a lot of things.
Oh, okay.
I know, but we're talking a whole different gender.
But people threw panties at Liberace. And you look at him and I could close my eyes.
He's like, these are not my size.
So it's like, I don't know. I want to believe this theory. I
do too, but like it just a lot has to fall into place for to trick this many people.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Okay, so is the current Queen of England, Elizabeth II, a Satanist cannibal? Oh, Amy McClendon, is that how you say her name? From Harper's Bazaar details. This strange theory about the Queen and Prince Philip stems from the fact that the children appear to go missing whenever they're near. Case in point, when scores of Canadian children went missing, this coincided with Her Majesty and the Duke of Edinburgh making a trip to Canada. Yikes. There is a correlation here between children disappearing and the Queen of England visiting places. Is she a Satanist cannibal? Yay or nay? If not, what is she doing with the children? That's a good question. This is very QAnon, by the way. This is like straight out of QAnon. It's like the same. It's the same theory as QAnon.
Yeah, it's like that song. I believe the children are the future. Well, eat them well. And no.
Eat them well.
Well, isn't it a big logical jump saying like children are missing and she's eating them?
All right. Why is that such a fun? Why do people love to go there?
Yeah, and just because you're a Satanist doesn't mean you want to eat children.
That's true.
Yeah.
What else could you be doing with them? That's
Soccer. They like
well,
soccer.
If you never see them again, people are going to eventually be like, well, because it's like if I give you a note.
Yeah.
Okay. And I have some secret information written on it. I'm like, make sure no one sees this. And then as soon as I give it to you, you look at it, you absorb the information, and you have to get rid of the note. You're going to eat it, right? Like, unless you have a lighter. If you have a lighter, you might burn it,
You
right?
could also shred it. There's a lot of, you could cut it up.
If you have that kind of time, right? But if I give you a note, you're going to eat it. That's what people do.
Women are better at eating paper than men.
Absolutely.
And eating penis. Well, actually, I don't know about that one.
Except manila envelopes. Men are really good at eating manila envelopes.
Ouch.
That doesn't even mean anything. Here's what I say about this one. I think that it's, like you said, Koji, with the eating, it takes it one step further, right? Yeah. In my research, I told you, like, 2 reputable news services, like, debunked this. They went out of their way to debunk it, saying, like, when the kids went missing in Canada, the Queen actually never visited that place. And it's like people, like, say, like Jay-Z, like 1,000 rappers must diss him every day in some shape or form. So he's only going to reply to the ones that are big enough to reply to. So something about them reporting, it just seems like there's something there. And I will say this, like, maybe the Queen is not a cannibal or anything like that, but some atrocities have happened on, quote unquote, her watch. So she's still kind of responsible for it. Like the mass graves they found in Canada, right? Children, mass graves in Canada.
Native Canadians.
Yeah, yeah. And then in Australia, you had the whole lost generation. And I didn't know about this till I went to Australia. Like they took a whole generation of Aborigines, separated them from their parents.
We did that here, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. They separated them and they like never went back to their parents. So like slavery,
like
you
an
get
experiment or
no,
just to separate them, to train them differently.
Yeah, so they could be Australian.
Yeah, yeah. And so like with slavery, you go, okay, you physically took these people and then you sold them. But even when that wasn't necessary, they did it. So all these things have kind of happened under her watch. So was she literally involved? Not her. Because she hasn't ruled England in a while, but under the just England is responsible for a lot of these things, whether she is personally or not.
Well, so for me, I'm not a huge I mean, obviously I'm not a QAnon person, but it's so close that it makes me think. And then I start to think that, I mean, the one thing that makes me kind of think that this might be true is that there was that whole one of the princes, I forget his name, was like connected to
Andrew, right?
Was it Andrew that was connected to Jeffrey Epstein, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And Jeffrey Epstein did have sex with little children, or I don't know how little children, allegedly. Oh, I guess he's
like
dead.
underage.
Not
maybe
little children.
17 or 16.
Well, that we know of.
Right.
Yeah.
That we know of.
That we know of, allegedly, just to protect myself. So there is like a thing that he was like hooking up with people under the age. But Kat, what do you think about this theory?
Well, Koji, what you just talk about Jeffrey Epstein reminded me like his death as well. And then, there's some connection between like Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein. And now the children thing making me think there may be some connection there. But the children are very young children, right? Not like a
17-year-old.
Like, teenagers, right?
With Andrew, yeah. But there's this Indian website I found. No, like Native American website.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And in Canada, someone, it could be a lie, but someone was like, when I was a kid, they lined us up and the queen came and it was crazy because she didn't have the entourage. It was just her and Philip, I guess. And then they took like seven kids and we never saw them again ever in our life.
Oh.
So is that true?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh.
Do you think they train those kids to be spy later on?
Oh,
Could it
there you
be?
go.
Ooh,
You
I
know?
like that theory. That's
Yeah.
solid. So they didn't eat them. They trained them.
Yeah, and then, like you have to to be very loyal, and in order not to turn those spies to become a double agent, you have to start training when you're a kid.
I love this. You know why too? Because
British do have the best
and
spies.
they have good spies,
yeah?
and these kids would think about it. You need people who this is a dynamite theory because you need people who are racially ambiguous, right? And so Native American or Native Canadians, whatever you call them, they can probably pass for like many different races.
Yeah.
Right. They can pass for, they can be Latin, they can probably go to Eastern Europe and fit in. They can even look Russian if you need them to. So I think I love that theory.
Isn't this the story for Black Widow? Instead of Russian.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
What do you think, Jennifer?
I think this is reaching. This one is fun. I think it's too much. No.
I hope it's too much. Yeah.
Cannibalism. It's just more that QAnon thing. Yeah. Come on now.
Okay.
Yeah. Fun fodder, but no.
Well, I think when you go cannibalism, that's where you take it a step too far.
Yeah, it was fine before that. And then the cannibalism part became too much.
But no, I love Cat's theory. Like they're just spies.
If you're not following us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, you guys and gals are missing out on additional content that you won't want to miss. We've got event and giveaways, announcements, and the opportunity to let us and our fans hear your stories. Absolutely true facts and crazy but totally legit theories. Find our socials on our website or search for the Unofficial Official Story podcast. Thank you, Kat C, for coming on with us. Such a pleasure to have you here. So please tell us more about where people can follow you, your sites, your handles, all the good stuff.
Thank you, Jennifer. This is the favorite part of this podcast today, to tell people follow me. That's the whole reason I came today. I'm just joking. That's our generation. It's about following, right? Yes, you guys can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, official Kat C. I occasionally use Twitter as well to prove I'm still reading something.
One thing I do want to mention before we end this episode was, if it sounded different, I didn't write it. I usually write all the episodes, but this year we're lucky to have 2 wonderful interns, and the next couple episodes are going to be written by them. So Eduardo, you want to come over here and say hello real quick?
Great job.
What's up? My name's Eduardo. I'm an intern for Koji, and I'm from LA. And we're keeping it LA strong here.
I don't know. Did that feel like big dick energy to you guys? I'm just going to say. All right. Go ahead.
Well, Koji, if people ever have to say to you, "Oh, you have big dick energy too," that's not really big dick energy to make people.
Yeah. If I have to encourage people to say it, yeah, you're right. I'm gonna have to. If I pay them, it's okay though, right?
As long as we don't see it.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you all so much for listening. There are millions of podcasts out there, and we're so honored you've chosen ours to listen to. So thank you. If it's your first time tuning in, or if you're a regular listener, we appreciate it. Keep the ratings up, keep the reviews up on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that. We also have a website, unofficialofficialstory.com. Our show notes are there, and you can hear our past episodes. Be sure to come back next month. We're going to find out the answer. This is probably going to be Koji's favorite episode ever. Who killed Tupac?
This is going to be the best episode we've ever done in our entire show history.
This is going to be a good one.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.